evening. Well, actually, this lectures is continue for the previously lectures. To mention about the previously 2 or 3 lectures, I explained about the Arabic area and explained also about the Ottoman Empire. Right now is Turkey. It's named Turkey, but before this is very huge, very big empire. And this is empire during 500 years dominate the Arab region. But the final period of this empire lost it many territories, lost it many war, and the economy of this empire be very weakness, and its effect for all the region that they are have the control from, for example, from the past of the east of European, Balkan area, also the part of the Arabic region, Arab people. And because the crisis inside also the Ottoman Empire, because the ideology of the nationalism started for the people or for the different field in the life of this empire. And this is the effect of the region, effect of all the system of Ottoman Empire. Because Ottoman Empire, the system is about the control of the palace of the Sultan, and also rule by the name of the Islam. But they are received a new ideology from the Western world, talking about different things, talking about nationalism, freedom, the democracy, talking about the constitution government. And this is very new things about this empire. During many years, the empires ruled by the name of the Khalifa, ruled by the name of the palace of the Khalifa, by the name of the princes, many princes there, the governor of Ottoman Empire. But I told you the last years of Ottoman Empire is mentioning the very weakness of this empire, and affect this weakness also by the Arab people. The Arab people now, they know this is the rule is collapse. So we needed to building ourselves like the nation in the name of the Arab people, not in the name of the Turkish people. This is the difference. Now today I try to explain how can started the idea, how can started the act to reach this point, to reach this aim, to establish a new Arab nation. So, the Great Arab Revolt, it is an armed revolution against the Ottoman Empire, which began in Hijaz. Now this territory, right now, is the Arabia Saudi. But before this area, the Arab Peninsula, is different cities. One of the cities is named Hijaz. So it started in these cities the rebellion against the Ottoman Empire. When Sharif Hussein announced the start of military action and rebellion against the Ottoman rule in the June 1916 in the holy city Mecca. This announcement had an impact in Jeddah, Ta'if, Medina, and all the Arab Peninsula. The rebellion against the Ottoman extended until they reached the Levant. Right now, Levant is, Syria, Palestine, Jordan. But before this, all this area is named Levant. And also in Iraq. And the Ottoman rule was expelled from this region. So, for this map, this is Medina, this action continue for all the cities of Arabian Peninsula, reach to the Levant, Palestine, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon right now, and go also receive it, the idea or receive it, the act of the military from Mesopotamia, I mean Iraq, right now. And the cost of this military action, all the soldier, all the military of Ottoman Empire were expelled outside. So what is the reason to this rebel? The Turkification policy adopted by the Ottoman government played a major role in the start of the rebellion. The Turkification is concept given to the forced and violent process of the converting people and geographic area from their original culture to Turkish. This is process happened from some idea the Ottoman Empire received inside the government, inside many parties, and the government using these rules, the Turkification, against many people, minority people who living under this big empire. So they are enforced, these people, by the different way, by violence, military action, to receive it, the culture, the language of Turkish nation in spite of their own culture or own language. This is process is named Turkification. Also, to change the area with the minority living in many hundred years, to change it and enforce the people changing this area in other place and killing the Turkish people living in this part. So, in this reason, the Arab nation don't accept this is process. The arrival of the nationalities governments in the Ottoman Authority, which has called the government the Three Pasha, and their persecution of non-Turkish nationalities, especially in the Arabs. So the Ottoman Empire, especially before the First World War, there reached some people take the government to rule this empire. For 3 military officers lead this government, and this is government names the Three Pasha. Pasha is the total using from the Turkish people is Lord, something like Lord, or master, or something like that. So, military conscription, proprietary exploration, and the great starvation in mountain Lebanon, this is also many reasons what happened to urge the people to make some rebellion against the Ottoman Empire. And the oppressive policy of Jamal Pasha, the military rules of the Syria Ottoman Empire, were cause of this rebellion. I will explain that about the ruler of the Levant, is named Jamal Pasha, who used the balance against the Arab people before the First World War. And he executed many nationalities, many intelligence people, and using the very strong hand to make the rule there. Also, the collapse of the economic situation and the Arab revival during the second half of the 19th century contributed to the emergence of an Arabic movement for independence from the Turkish. So there is many acts happened. I just want to explain what three Pasha government. A government took control of Ottoman Empire led by three personalities, and it is historical known the three Pasha government. The three Pasha is Muhammad Talat Pasha, Ismail Orno Pasha, and Ahmed Jamal Pasha. And also, there is one very crisis happened in the mountain of Levant, because there are military act happened in Levant. The alliance, Great Britain and French, try to make some kind of embargo in this area. They don't allow the treated way coming in this area, the mountain of the Levant. The Levant, almost the Syria, Palestine, but who impact too much in this embargo or this section happened? The poor people who living in the north of Lebanon. They are suffering too much because there are two hands try to force them very strongly. One part from the Western power, like Great Britain, French, they don't allow any food enter or trade routes go inside this part. And the second hand is the hand of the governor of the Ottoman. They also take many people, young people, to enter the military of Turkey. And the poor people, now they don't have any support for the different way. So the collapse happened in this part, and many people, thousands of these people die for this crisis. So I will explain the situation of Ottoman Empire with the great power. Before the beginning of the First World War, the Ottoman Empire suffered a series of defeats and setbacks of all levels. As a sign of weakness of deterioration appeared in it. And a political reform movement appeared in the early 20th century that wanted to replace the absolute property of the Ottoman Sultan with their constitutional government. The leaders of the young movement, the Turks, as a rebellion against the absolute of the Sultan Abdul Hamid in 1908, which is to lead to enter a military party democratic area for the first time in the country's history. I explained last lectures about the situation in Ottoman Empire. There are some sultan, his name Abdul Hamid al-Thani. He rules the empire during 40 years for the age of this empire, with the great hand of absolute rule. But because the crisis of the Ottoman Empire, they are lost in many wars, the economic crisis also, the nationalist movement or idea coming from the Western world, came from French, who adopted the ideology, the principles of French Revolution, talking about socialism, talking about freedom. So the intellectual people who living inside the Ottoman Empire or outside the Ottoman Empire now try to study the change of the world. The world now is very different. We are talking about democracy, we are talking about the freedom, and the Ottoman Empire is still blocked for the idea of the religion issues
idea of that you should be obeying the Sultan. So during the last Khalifa, Abdul Hamid al-Thani, there are many rebellions happened against him from the minority people or from also the military action against the system or the rules of the palace. And after that, Abdul Hamid accept the change, and some organization first started like secret organization enforce the people to make rebellion against the rulers of Ottoman Empire. And after that, when Abdul Hamid find it is everything is finished, he was very weak now, he can't rule the Ottoman Empire, he surrendered and adopt and leave his position to the new government, the nationalities government, and lead the new state of Ottoman Empire. So all these actions happened during the period of Ottoman Empire is before the First World War. So the crisis continue because Ottoman Empire, when they are nationalism people lead the new government, also there are some crises happening inside the political life of Ottoman Empire between different parties. And every party try to take the power from themselves. And for this reason, from the crisis of political issues, the Ottoman Empire before the First World War enter also in different kind of the war, in Balkan War, for example, in Grecia War, and after that, when the First World War started, the weakness of Ottoman Empire entered this war to be supported the German against Great Britain and French. And the collapse is continue for this empire.
So there was a struggle among British, French, Russia to dominate the Arab region because of the region's advantage of the important resource and a strategic location and stop the growth of the German influence. The Ottoman were allies to the German in the First World War, and accordingly, the British government arms the Arabs and supported them to fight the war against the Ottoman. Britain's main goal was to obtain the propriety of the term of Ottoman Empire on the Arab Asia side.
So now this is Arab Peninsula. The Ottoman Empire was dominating almost this area. But the desert inside, they are not reached too much because they're very difficult area, but there are some tribes living there. But the Ottoman Empire, for example, they have Iraq, Palestine, Syria, Lebanon, north of Africa, the Balkan. When the Ottoman Empire started to collapse, they almost lose the Balkan area. And also the part of the North Africa, because the troops of French occupied this part. Great Britain, when they are finding the Ottoman Empire is very weakness in the part, the military part and the economic part, try to benefit for this situation. They are supported the rebellion who started on the peninsula by the armies, and also try to stop the influence of Germany, because Ottoman Empire try also to make some kind of interchange military weapons from Ottoman Empire and Germany, so like allies between these two states. And when started the First World War, Ottoman Empire supported but the Allies wins many battles during this First World War and try to finish the influence of Ottoman Empire, of German in this part, and try to finish the military bases of Ottoman Empire there. So when they are finding there are some rebellion happened in this area, they are sending military people or military officers to support the Ottoman Empire. One of these officers is very famous, his name Lawrence, who knows that Lawrence the Arabian.
May I ask,
Yes.
how many people lived on the Arabic Peninsula at the time?
Leave.
Yeah.
Well, there is not estimated in this area because the administration of Ottoman Empire focused it special in the Iraq, Lebanon, because this area there are very big cities there, and we can make some kind of service from the people there because it's near of the rivers, near of the oceans. But the Arab Peninsula is very complicated. The demographic part is very hard to make the delay. So they are put the people govern them from the rules of the tradition of the Bedouin, or tradition for the Arab concept. And there are many tribes living there. But they put it here in Holy City, Mecca, the government who has influence from the Arab people. And this is man, I will speak about him later, is Sharif Hussein, is one member of dynasty of the family of Prophet Muhammad. And because you are asking about the number of the number of the people. So it's very difficult to estimate it, how much people living, basically, because they are living like Bedouin, traveling between for one part to another part, but they are no, for example, who living in this area, because this area near of the Arabic Sea, this area very important for Arab people, Mecca, the holy city of the Muslim people.
And they were independent tribes. So there was
They are ruled
unity, no Arabic unity at the time.
No. This is the concept they are. The concept that the Sharif Hussein tried to prove it. This is like project. Make all the nation again, because when especially when the Islam started in this area. When Prophet Muhammad lead the nation of the religion of Islam started in this area, from the Mecca, from the Medina. And after that, the conquest of the Muslim world go inside the Balkan, inside the Turkey, north of Africa, and make like such like one nation in the name of the Islam. And now the concept of the similarity makes some kind of some project, make the unity between the Arab people, the Muslim people, try to make it again by many parties. In Syria, for example, there are secret parties happened in this time against the imperialism, against the colonialism, against the forces of Western powers. And also the Sharif Hussein tried to prove it himself, make some kind of unity between Arab people and make himself the king, a new king of this nation. So, okay. So now I told you, Great Britain now they have attention, interest of this area. So they are trying to plan to how can benefit for this situation. Ottoman Empire is very weakness. German try to make influence in this part. Now enter the French also military, try to also to take some kind of the part to dominate this area. Russia, they have interest in this area also. So Great Britain now, the government of Great Britain, it tried to make some steps there to analyze the situation there, to how can benefit for this crisis. So they are decided to build or decided to establish some organization or some office near of the Arab Peninsula. They are thinking, where should we put this organization? In Syria, but Syria now, for example, also there are some kind of the conflict between the people who try to make some kind of nationalism and the French. Arab Peninsula is very hard to make some kind of office there and observe the situation. So they are decided to put this office in the Egypt. And this office is named the Arab Bureau. And put it in this office, many intellectual people, some officer from military of Great Britain who have experience of Arab issues, who they are studying the history of this area, who have the opinion what happened after the Ottoman Empire collapsed. So they are sending these people to study the situation there and to make some kind of the report to inform the government what happened there. It's such like spies put it in this area. One of these spies, for example, Thomas Edward Lawrence, and they are putting many experienced people to study the situation of the Middle East. So the beginning of
the Arab observing. During the second half of the 19th century, an Arab movement for independence from the Turkish emerged, and an agreement was made between Sharif Hussein, the government of the Mecca, and the leaders of the nationalities movement in the Syria and Iraq. Among the aims is the independence of the Arabs and the formation of the signal Arab states. So who Sharif Hussein is the Arab leader from the Ben Hashim clan who was the Emir of Mecca, the governor of the Mecca. He's from 37 generation of direct links of the Prophet Muhammad.
So Sharif Hussein is the governor of the Mecca. Who put Sharif Hussein as governor of Mecca? The Ottoman Empire. Because the Ottoman Empire thought we can make deal with Sharif Hussein to control of the people. He had good characters. He represented the Muslim people. He was one part of Prophet Muhammad. But Sharif Hussein actually have a dream. He had another ambition. He tried to separate his rules from Ottoman Empire, especially because Sharif Hussein, first he have two sons, or three sons, but the great two sons is Abdullah, the bigger one, and also Faisal, and they are the members of the parliament of Ottoman Empire. And one day, Sharif Hussein sent his son to ask Istana, the capital of the Ottoman, to share to the parliament of the Ottoman Empire this time. And Faisal, he finding some plan to change his father from Mecca. Because the Ottoman Empire now, they are, especially the government of Ottoman Empire, they are afraid from Sharif Hussein to make some rebellion against them. So they are decided, or they have some plan to change Sharif Hussein from his position. And Faisal, his son, finding this is a plan and report his father. He told him, oh, we should make some act very fast because the new government, there are new movement against us to change it, to put it another person like the government of Mecca. This is the first thing. Another thing, there are some movements, secret movement happened in Lebanon, talking about the independence. And Sharif Hussein sent his son in Lebanon to understand what they are needed. If they are needed helps, if they are needed some kind of supported, and what their idea. So Faisal visit Lebanon after that and meeting the people who have the interest of the concept of the nationalism and speak with them. They are talking with him about independence. They are talking with him about make the nation one nation. They are talking with him about to separate it from Ottoman Empire, to stop the influence of the great power. So Faisal made deal with them. Okay, we can make some rebellion also from the Arab Peninsula, and we can support it, your idea, your plan to independence, but we should be putting a new president, a new king, and we are needed Sharif Hussein to make a new king of this nation. And the people of this organization, there's two organizations very famous in Lebanon, is Al-Ahad and Al-Fatah, who represented members who have the concept of nationalism in this time. So the Arab Girls Association, it is a secret Arab nationalism organization whose goals were to obtain independence and unity of Arab lands that we are then under the Ottoman rules. And Al-Fatah, this is another organization, but this is organization, members of this organization, the majority is from the military people. These military people, after that, will make the revolution against the Ottoman Empire, enter for the army of the Arab army and fighting against the Ottoman Empire.
These both organizations, Fatah and Ahad,
Yes.
they operated same countries, like parallel, at the same time in all in Levant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They established in Lebanon. Why they are established in Lebanon? Because Lebanon also is different from another cities.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Arab Peninsula. The people there, or the educated people, study, for example, in Paris, study in Great Britain also. So they have more concept about the future. And also they have experience of the military. They are shared sometimes with the Turkish army during many years. But they are the Turkish using this Turkification policy against the Arab people. So they don't accept that because we have the own culture, we have the own history. We are not Turkish, we are Arabic. So you should stop this policy and stop the aggressive action from the government, especially in Syria. Jamal Pasha, this is the man who lead or who governed the Syria many years, and Jamal Pasha put many spies in different parts of the Levant, and they are finding there are some kind of rebellion or some peoples, intellectual peoples trying to urge the people against the government of Ottoman Empire and catch this 14 person and executed them. And this is action where actually don't accept for the Arab people in Iraq, in Syria, in Arab Peninsula, and using this action to make some kind of signal to start the Arab revolt against the Ottoman Empire.
During the Ottoman rule, it was possible for Arab people from Levant like to become officers in the army and advance there. To what level? What was the highest position in the Ottoman army for some Arab person?
They are entered the schools of the armies, but this is schools directed by the Ottoman government. And the high court of this army also were the Ottoman officers. But the little range of this army in different, because the Ottoman Empire using many people also have the experience in different parts in the world who Ottoman Empire dominated in this time. To taking these people like soldiers, because it's very big empires in this time. We are talking about empires who rules in the part of the West Asia until east of Europe, north of Africa. This is very huge state in this time, and they are needed some soldiers, needed some officers. So they taken these officers from the state who have the dominated in this time. Many officers who enter the Turkish army came from Levant, I came from Iraq also. But I told you when these officers finded the policy of the Turkish system is against the minority, they rejected that actions and decided to make some kind of revolt or rebellion against this Ottoman Empire by creating some kind of organization in the secret way, such like Al-Ahad and Al-Fatah in Levant.
So there were no Arab generals in the Ottoman
No, it's not just, but they are,
like,
have experience, like officers have experience. Yeah.
But what was the highest rank?
Actually,
Majors?
I think the highest is from Turkish officers. It's not from the, they don't allow the higher range of the officer to make this position.
But this must have to create some discontent amongst the Arab officers if they didn't have possibility to advance in the army.
And this is not allowed from the system of. Maybe there are share some people who have great influence from Arab people. I mentioned, for example, two sons of the Sharif Hussein. The government of Ottoman Empire allowed them to put in the position that like members of the parliament of Ottoman Empire. But in the part of the military, no. They have some limited or some rules put it from the system of Ottoman Empire. They don't accept the big high officers manage the army of Ottoman Empire because they don't trust it for the minority who dominated in this time.
And may I still ask one thing?
Yes, please.
Were these troops of the Ottoman army, were they separated? So were there like divisions of Arab divisions and then Turkish
There are
divisions?
Mixing the armies, but under the rule of the officers, Turkish officers.
Yeah.
The soldiers, the military soldiers, for example, they are taking some people from Arab Peninsula to fighting in Balkan. And these people send their son, their brother, their father, and never return again. And they don't know where they are, they disappear.
But the command language in the army was Turkish.
In the armies.
Yes.
They using the Turkish, but the majority of the soldiers, they have different language there. You can find the Armenian language.
So you had to learn some Turkish.
Yeah,
to
this
advance
is
in the army.
the problem, because they are building the school in different parts of Ottoman Empire, enforce the Turkish language. They don't allow, for example, using Arab language in the schools or university or something like that, or any office of the Ottoman government or administration in different parts.
Yeah.
This is the system what they are using in this area. They try to limit it or try to finish it the another cultures from the minority who living in this area. They don't allow, for example, in Armenian language or in Arabic language using during the study of this empire. So the minority peoples don't accept this situation because they thought we have a great history. We are living in this area 1,000 years. We have very great history. The civilization started in this area before the Ottoman Empire.
But there was still discrepancy because in the mosques, when people were practicing Islam,
Yeah.
they used Arabic.
The Arabic, yeah. It's, for example, the religion, when you speak about the religion, you are speak in Arab language, because the Quran, the holy book of the Arab people, write it in Arabic. So when you are studying the religion, you should be studying in Arabic language. But for another part of the studies,
The real Quran is only in Arabic.
in Arabic, yeah. Because if you are using to interpret it in Arab language, the meaning of many words is changed. Because the power of the Quran came from the Arabic linguistic. And the Khalifa of this is very amazing, because during many years, 500 years, when the dynasty of Ottoman came to rule, you don't find any Khalifa speak Arabic. He don't understand Arabic. Or the government who rules Iraq or Levant, or he know 5% Arabic. And he's just using the Turkish language. He governed the Arab people, but he don't know what is the nation, what native or nation, or Arab nation is speaking about. But if you are talking about the religion part, no, he should be, or the people should be read the Quran from Arabic language. Yeah. So,
excuse me.
yeah, okay.
Like the religious leaders, also the Ottoman Turkish, they studied in like in the universities, like in Egypt. What was the name? What is the name of the famous university in Cairo? Al-Aqsa. No.
Al-Aqsa.
No, anyway.
Okay.
So they studied there, like also the Turkish religious people.
Yeah. Because
So they had to learn Arabic.
Arabic, yeah. It's very important to study the religion. They are open different parts of the university or schools in Egypt, Levant, Iraq, in different part of the Balkan area, to study the religion. But this religion, they put also rules for this religion. We should be obeying the ruler. We should be obey because he represented the Arab nation, Al-Khalifa. We can't make any rebellion against him. We can't refuse any order for him. This is the rules who put the Ottoman Empire. They are never accept for any way for the democracy issues of you don't, because this is the Western idea. The great power try influence by this idea to enter and destroy this empire by the name of freedom or name of democracy and such like that. And the Ottoman Empire, during many years, many people who have the religious concept, supported the Khalifa because Khalifa he represented the Muslim nation in many years. But when I'm talking about the secret organization who happened in Lebanon, they don't speaking about religious issues. They are speaking about the nationalities, the independence. We are stopped to make some kind of the religion to explain the crisis what happened. We should be started again, but far away from the religion.
So they adapt this Western idea of separation of the state and politics and religion.
Religion, something like that. But they are finding also Sharif Hussein, who has the characters very influenced for Arab people because he was a family or member of family of Prophet Muhammad.
Sharif Hussein was more like a religious person, like religious leader.
Something like that. So he have mentioned, he have tried to prove himself. The religious characters, also the man who called of independence. So the nationalities find it from the characters of Prophet of Sharif Hussein, good leader or good man who can support him to make the rebellion against Ottoman Empire. There are two goals mixing together. One, to stop the influence of the great power, and also to expel the Ottoman Empire far away from this region, and make some kind of plan, is make some unity of Arab people in the name of religion or in the name of nationalism. So a great we are again, the great power of the Great Britain tried to connect, to speak with the Arab people. They find it the nationalism in Syria or Lebanon, we can't trust with these people. Because these people talking about stop the influence of the Great Britain, stop the influence of French in this area. So we don't speak with them, but we can find the Sharif Hussein who have the ambition to make himself like king. Maybe we can find it some kind of conversation with him. So they are sending some kind of some letters, give him some kind of the promise. This letter is named McMahon Hussein Correspondence. The government of the Egypt in this time, in the name of the government of the Britain, they sent some message to Sharif Hussein. They told him, okay, we know that you are trying to be new king of the Arab nation. We can help you to make this dream for you, but we should be support us by the part of the military and the part of the people to enter with the Great Britain armies to defeat the Ottoman Empire, to stop it, the German also influence in this time. So this is corresponded, happened between Great Britain by Henry McMahon, the governor of the Egypt in this time, and Sharif Hussein.
So some explanation about this message. It is a series of messages exchanged during the First World War, which the United Kingdom government agreed that recognized the independence of the Arab after the war in exchange for Sharif of Mecca declaration of Arab revolution against the Ottoman Empire. The correspondence is composed of the 10 letters that were exchanged from the 1915 until 1916 by Hussein ibn Sharif Hussein Sharif of Mecca and Lieutenant Colonel Sir Henry McMahon, the British High Commissioner of the Egypt. So I explained that we can take 5 minutes if you want to drink.
No, continue, please. Or do you want to?
If you have any question, because, or is this some kind of the sorry? In the end, okay.
Sorry if I interrupted.
No,
you
that's
too much.
fantastic because we are continuing the same project, the same idea. It's very good to mention many notes there because my idea is make some clear of what I'm talking about. So,
Excuse me,
yeah, okay.
I checked the name of the university, Al-Azhar.
Al-Azhar, yeah. This is the religion, this very old religion schools in the Egypt, and there are many people study the religion, but also the Al-Azhar, they are not have the own rule, because they are always take attention or take when they are take some decision or take some something, they should be take care about this decision against the rulers or not, especially in the part of religion, because the part of religion is in fact the people, the concept of the people, and the Azhar is represented the school of the Islam. If they are talking something, you should be be careful, because sometimes this is a decision or this is some political issues. Sometimes is opposite what the government they needed, and they're making this some kind of the conflict between the religion and the policy of the government. So they are taken until now, until the problem. That Azhar, they are not have independence to take some decision without allow the government of the Egypt. So they are very clear or very careful when I'm speaking something, because they saw the political what they are needed. So I will take it about the Great Britain. Great Britain, they are thinking they can support the Arab people because there are some benefit for support Arab people. One of this benefit, they are expel the Turkish outside, and this area is very important from the logistic part, strategic part, and maybe in the future they are finding some resource, because they are starting to find something very important from the resource of the many factors there in the Western world. They are starting to find the oil there. So this fact is very important, because they are finding some flood of the oil in the south of Iran, in Arabistan right now. So maybe this is filled of the oil, they can find it in another part, and we started to explore, to discover where is the black oil there. Because in Arabistan, now in south of Iran, they find it, and the German also, they have the same interest.
So the interest of the resource of this area is very important from the great powers. Also by the trade way, because this area connected between the west and the east. So it is very important from transport also. And they are impatient for the different countries to reach this area. Russia, in the time of the Caesar, Nicholas Caesar, they try also enter this area to reach the Arab Gulf. They have some interest. French in this part, French started to occupy north of Africa. German, they are supported the Ottoman Empire from the part of the military. Also, they have interest in. So there are many competition happening in this area to who can win to dominate this area after the collapse of Ottoman Empire. So
the British government view was that it was very necessary for Arabs to become independent from the Ottoman and from Arab rulers from the region under the supervision of British advisor and under the British protection.
This is the misunderstanding happened between Sharif Hussein and Grand Britain. Because Sharif Hussein, what he understand from the message that he received from him, that Grand Britain supported him to be independence. Meaning independence is to build a new, the own state for him. That they have their own decision, their own policy. But Grand Britain, they don't speaking about that. They speaking another things. They speaking, okay, we can support you for get your independence, but under the view, under the supervision of the Great Britain. We can't take you alone. No, we are watch you. We are lead to you until when we are ready to be the Independence Day. Okay, we are agreed about that. But now, no. Now this area is very important. We can't leave this area to you or your family. This is the misunderstanding between Sharif Hussein and the message who received it from Grand Britain. Because the Grand Britain, our government, they are of the Grand Britain, they think the people of Arab people now, they don't understand what meaning independence. They are not ready for complete independence at present. And that the word, the Arab independence means only their independence from the Ottoman Empire. And that the region should be administrated by the victorious countries in the war, in the First World War. So there are some misunderstandings between, because Great Britain now entered the First World War. Great Britain, with the Her Alliance, French, Russia, they are win many wars during the battles what happened. And they are trying to put influence in this area. And they are not allowed to give Sharif Hussein or the people who talking independence or something like that, give them the gift or give them what they are fighting about. Okay, we are can support you to destroy the Ottoman Empire, because Ottoman Empire, they are treated you very badly during many years. We can make you free, but free under our rules. Not the free what like to create the own nation of you or state for you, because you are not ready to understand the system of the state. So, but anyway, the rebellion happened in this time. The armies of Arab people divided in different parts, And they are fighting in Arabian Peninsula against the military of Ottoman Empire. Faisal and his brother leaded the Arab people, but Faisal, they have some colonel, Thomas Edward Lawrence, they give him many strategic plan how can to fighting the people, the Turkish army. The Thomas Edward Lawrence, he had very experience in this area, archaeological man. He studied the history of this area. He visited Egypt, he visited Levant, Palestine, he visited Iraq, and he was very intelligent man from the part of the military issues. So he planned many operations, especially when he attacked the trains of Ottoman Empire in this area, and he led the forces to win many battles happen in this revolt. So Sharif Faisal is one of the brothers of one of the sons of Sharif Hussein. He's very tall man. Actually, the father Sharif Hussein, he put the military operation in the hand of Faisal. But about the conversation with the great power, about the conversation about different members of the people of the parties who against the Ottoman Empire, he sent his brother Abdullah to make this conversation. So for Faisal, he depended for him for military issues, and Abdullah, he depended for him for conversation with the world, with the Western world. And Thomas Edward Lawrence is very famous characters. His military officers from Great Britain, and Thomas Edward Lawrence also, he the war, you know, he's like a spy, very famous spy in the history of the Great Britain. And he was make many operations in Arab Peninsula. The last operation he made it also in Afghanistan. And when he returned in London, he was born from Wales, I think so. But when he returned in London, when he was retired, he made accident in motorcycle and he died after that. And there are very famous movie making during 1962-63. I get many winner of the Oscar winner talking about Thomas Edward Lawrence and the Arab Rebellion history. But anyway, the armies of Arabian Revolt expelled the Turkish armies from Arab Peninsula and went to the Levant in Palestine and also in Syria and entered the Syria and expel also the Turkish people. And this time also French tried to take dominated in Syria. But in anyway, Faisal, when he entered Syria, he declared himself like the king of the Syria in 1918, something like that. But when the army of Faisal entered the Syria, behind that the army of Great Britain also entered the Syria with him. But on another side, there are French troops there. And then the nationalist people, they tried to speak with the Faisal. They told him, okay, we support you. We announce you like the king, but we should stop the influence of Great Britain and the influence of French, because we don't allow to replace the Ottoman Empire armies for the great power Great Britain of French. So if they are replacing one armies or one troops or one powers for another powers, we not make anything for that. So we are planned to make the own states. So, but Faisal right now, he know this is very complicated, very difficult, because the Grand Britain supported him, and the French is very strong army. They can't defeat it, the troops of the French. But in also the problem is during this fighting happened, the diplomatic way they are starting between Great Britain and French to dominate this area. They are give promise to Arab people to support them to finish the influence of finish the dominate of the Turkish armies. But in this time, the secret negotiation happened between Great Britain and France to separate the region between them, to domination this area between them. This is agreement is very famous in the history. Is Sykes-Picot Agreement. The agreement reached a secret negotiation between British colonists Sir Mr. Sykes and the French diplomatic lawyers, France George Picot. And who entered this agreement also Russia and Italy. This is during 2 or 3 years make this negotiation, but this is a very secret negotiation, but who published this agreement? Russia, because Russia, this agreement happened in the time of the Caesar, Nicholas Caesar. But in 1917, when the Bolshevik, when the Lenin take the power in the Russia, they tried to publish all the secret document what happened in the time of the Caesar of Russia, because the idea of the communist revolution is to take the freedom of the nation. But this agreement is the part of the imperialism who rejected from the revolution of the Russia idea. So they are published, they are told the world, look, this is two great power, now they have some kind of the secret agreement to dominate the world, especially in the Arab region. So according to the agreement, what they are talking about, so the part of the Iraq, south of Iraq, until almost north of Iraq, Jordan and Haifa is all this part of the hand of the Grand Britain. And French, they are taking all this green land, Syria, part of the Mosul, the north of Iraq, also inside Istanbul, the capital of Turkey. And also Russia take the Armenia and also part of the Iran. So they are trying to definition this area between the victories who got the First World War. So this is the same map they're talking, but they are talking about the Palestine journalism, because they are thinking this is the very holy city in Palestine, and this is the problem happening after that. This is the part of Palestine because this is very important for three religions. The Muslim people, Christian people, Jewish people, they are not dominated or they are not have the control for any this great power. They put it under the international power to administrate this area. The problem is great power also, the Great Britain, they have also not to just dominated, separated this region now, no. They are also another plan, make some kind of agreement with the Jewish people. This is agreement is the Balfour Declaration. The Prime Minister or the Foreign Minister make the promise or send some message to the Zionist people. They talking, okay, we are support you to make your dream, to make the Jewish land in the Palestine. And Lord Rothschild, who represented the community of the Zionists, received this promise from the government of Great Britain to make some kind of the project in the future to make the state of Israel after that, what happened after in 1948 when they declared the state of Israel. This is some information also about this statement by the British government during the First World War to promise the Jewish people to building their own land. But actually the Jewish people who are living in this area is very few people. Is not like Arab people or not like Christian people, but they have some kind of influence in the Western power, especially Great Britain. The Zionist influence is very great in this time, and they are very great from the financial part. So the government of the Great Britain try to benefit from the financial part from the Jews, and they are give them some promise to building their own land in Palestine. But after the finish the military action, Faisal, now the king of the Syria. His father now in Hijaz. His father, because this is area have many clans, and there are another clan attacked his father. They have some war between different clans, and after that, Sharif Hussein lose the war against Saud clans. The family of Saud, or the clans of Saud, take this area and expel also Sharif Hussein outside the Arabian Peninsula, and created the own state. Right now is Saudiya, Al-Arabiya Saudiya. So the family of Al Saud started to dominate this area, Abdul Aziz bin Saud, and put it the family of Hashimi, the family of Sharif Hussein outside this area. Faisal, the king of Syria, also he lost the war against the troop of the French group. He fighting against them, and the French troop entered Damascus and expel Faisal outside the Damascus. He told, we not needed the king of Arabia here. We are the dominated this area in this part. Now Faisal, they don't have any kingdom of this area. He get outside the Levant.
First World War finished, there are many conferences happened, and this is conference, or San Remo conference, established a new system to dominate this area by legally, by the law. Yes, the troops is enter, but we needed some form of the law to justify this form of the domination. This form is named is mandate system. Mandate system, the idea of mandate system, they said, according to the article 22, they said, after the collapse of Ottoman Empire, there are some nations they are without government. This nation, they are not ready to dominate, to rule themselves. We are talking about not just Arabic nation, no, I'm talking about the whole territorial was dominated from Ottoman Empire, from the part of Europe, North Africa, and Arabian Peninsula also. So, now this nation, they don't have government, they don't have rules. But this nation, they are not ready to build the state on themselves. So, we can help them. We all have experience. We can help them to teach them how can to rule themselves in the future. So they are make some system of tutelage system. And during many years, when they are, we are thinking they are ready to rule themselves, we give them the independence. But not right now, because they are very small, like children. We should teach them like baby. How can rules, how can make their administrative, how can make the constitution, how can make the parliament system. So this is the idea of imperialism in this area. Now the system of mandate started from the great power to dominate this area in the form of the law. And this is different kind of information, but I have some movies, 10 minutes. I can show you, but just for the last things. Actually, after the First World War and after the mandate system and after the influence of the great power in this area, some rebellion happened in Iraq, Syria against the new state, the new government from France and Great Britain. And the government of the great power in the hand of the Winston Churchill, they tried to find some solution because this is rebellion cost too much from the great power, especially from the Great Britain. They cost too much in part the financial and military. And they tried to find some solution. So Winston Churchill, he tried to collect some people who have experience in this area and make some conference meeting in the Cairo. And the many experienced people from Great Britain, from also experience from Arab people, meeting in the Cairo. And Winston Churchill came in this conference and in this meeting and told them, okay, I give you 3 days, and this is 3 days, give me some solution. How come to stop the rebellion against our force? Because this is cost for us too much, for the part of the army and the part of the economy. And this is during these 3 days, they are meeting in the hotel in Semiramis, in the Cairo, center of the Cairo. They find it solution. What is this solution? We make states in this area. If you remember, this area, they don't have form of the states. We're talking about Arab Peninsula, we're talking about Lebanon, we're talking about Mesopotamia, but not talking about the states. But we can make some states. We can make some border between all the nations there and draw this border and put in the government in the form of the kingdom, for example, and we can control of this government, of this king, and we can stop the rebellion against them. So in this time, for this conference, started the project to create a new states in this area. For example, in Iraq, they put in the border of Iraq and told, okay, the son of Sharif Hussein Faisal, who expelled from Syria, he can now make a new kingdom there. Another son, Abdullah, he can rules of Jordan. And the Arab Peninsula, we can make some contract with the shuyukh, with the emir there, the sultan there. So it started in this area, in this time, in this conference, the new project of the states in this time. So I show you in 10 minutes to finish my